Well, welcome back, Blade fans. This old sword with you once again. And we're going small today. We're going to get real small. Remember that Steve Martin routine about getting real small? I guess you need to be old enough to recall it. But yeah, we're dealing with some smaller knives today, which is unusual for me because I tend to like larger knives, as you probably know if you've been following this channel. So we've got 5 here that are sort of a cross section from different manufacturers, different profiles, different uses, and I'm going to start with the one that's glaring right out at us because it's so darn bright, and it is the Wee Banter. It's a design by Ben Peterson, formerly of Blade HQ, as you probably know. It is S35VN. It went for about $108. I say went. I think it's still available. There's a mini version out now with a finger choil, etc. This has a deep carry clip, not reversible, unfortunately. Lanyard hole, but that clip is recessed into the handle, and they use flat-headed screws, which is a thing of beauty. It's a thumb opener, snaps right open, has a beautiful smooth action. No, blades this size generally aren't drop shutty, but it's certainly smooth enough. Fast action, great everyday carry knife if you want to go small and light and unobtrusive. It's got a very small run of jimping there, but it's very grabby, so it's very useful. That was smart. They didn't need to do a full run of jimping out here, even though you can lay your thumb out along the length of the blade. You can cut with it this way. It's got a nice belly, comes through quite sharp, as most, if not all, Wee knives do. And nice spring clip out of steel, stainless steel. It is a wide open construction with 2 pillars and a blade stop right there. So for everyday carry, all-purpose use, hard to beat this knife for its size. And most of these knives, if not all of them, are right in the 3-inch range. This is just a hair under 3 inches. It's about 2.9 as I recall. So if you have restrictions about blade length where you live, this should be perfect. Oh yeah, hidden liners, internal liners with just that very nice accessible release. Doesn't stick out too far. It's got the jimping on it, easy to disengage. Nice Wee logo. What more can you ask for? That is the Wee Banter. Let's go next to the longest of the group. This is slightly over 3 inches. I try to stay under 3 inches, but what are you going to do? But it's small by virtue of how slender it is. It's very pen-like. You could even call it a pen knife. The blade disappears completely into the handle on this Cricut CEO. This is the original one. And if you don't get your fingers around the blade, you can flick it open relatively easily with that single thumb stud. I wouldn't move the thumb stud over to the other side. I don't think it will, because you need that cutout for it right there. I think they went to a back flipper on this and made some recent changes. I'm sorry, I haven't followed that. This has a carbon fiber-like texture to it. And this is an FRN material, fiberglass reinforced nylon, so kind of a molded material. But it's nice. It's grippy enough, not too slippery. No jimping, but you can lie your thumb across the back of the blade. And deep carry pocket clip, not reversible. But you can literally carry that like a pen in your pocket if you wanted to bring it to the office and not have anything too obtrusive. It's perfect. Looks just like a pen. Solid steel pommel, which is interesting. Handles a fair amount longer than the blade. but holding it in a position like this, that could actually be used to break glass or to strike with, should you need to. So we've got an all-purpose knife here, EDC. If this is the only knife you're carrying, it should do well. It's not a high grind, it's not a wide blade. Comes through fairly sharp though, have to say. I think the steel, it's not listed, is in the 440 range, something like that. I'm not sure. Maybe a 8CR 18 MOV, I'm not sure. Not marked on the blade anywhere that I can see. So we'll go with that. Most likely a pedestrian sort of simple stainless steel, but hardened and does hold an edge. Going into a specialty knife, here is the Bastinelli Mako folder. This is co-designed with Dagmar Kaida of Forged in Fire and Kali fame. It is a karambit style knife with a ring. However, works very well in a EDC fashion. Blade is well under 3 inches, somewhere in the vicinity of 2 3/4. When held in the karambit style, it is very jabby, stabby, pokey. Okay, can be used for your martial blade control techniques. Can be used to cut outward. You can put your pinky through the ring, hold it this way. As I say, still a very effective EDC knife. If you wanted one knife that was great for self-defense, martial blade, and EDC, and you wanted to carry a small package, this is it. The wire clip is going to keep the ring out of your pocket, easy to access, and it's black, so it's kind of muted. That clip will switch over to the other side, and this does incorporate the Bram Frank pocket opener. Similar to the Wave opener, it is not a hook, it's more of a platform. Can be rolled open with the thumb, can be flipped open with the finger, or on the pocket, on a baseball cap even, as Bastion Cove has demonstrated in some videos. So a great design, securely carries in the pocket or really wherever, and a switchable clip, karambit style, N690 steel, N690 CO, made by Fox in Italy. And the newer versions are D2, so don't get confused if you see some out there for D2. I believe they switched steels. I'm kind of glad I got the N690. More stain resistant than D2. And holds an edge quite well, and this is sharp. Had a couple small mishaps with it. Wide open construction except for the backspacer that incorporates the karambit ring. But beautifully constructed, multi-purpose martial and EDC knife. And it's a small one. So small knives, big jobs, as I say. Alright, let's go to the Voxnays designed So this is named the Isanzo, and it's MKM, an Italian company, known for making some very fine knives. The steel on it is N690 CO, once again. A lot of Italian knives coming through with that steel. It is the smallest of the crowd, with about a 2.4 inch blade, maybe a little less. It, however, does have a full finger choil, which is really interesting for an extremely small knife. It also has a very aggressive hawk's bill and a belly. It's got that S-shaped grind to the edge. Can be opened with the thumb through the hole or the flipper. Initial action on this was a little sluggish, but after a little bit of tuning it worked quite well. It has a large carabiner style opening and a switchable wire clip, deep carry. So checks a lot of boxes for a small knife, and look at the size of that thing. So we needed something that disappeared in your hand. It was still very effective for EDC work, cutting cardboard, precision cutting, and martial blade play as well. It's got to work for that last-ditch defensive stuff, you know. This one has an FRN handle of green. There are more versions of this knife than you could count. Different blade shapes, different handle colors, different blade treatments. This one's a stonewash. And follow Vox Knives, because he has a lot of interesting designs out of Holland, I believe, Netherlands. So definitely a multi-purpose small knife for the Isanzo. Last but not least, the Hasatsu by Columbia Knife and Tool. Designed by James Williams, a well-known Japanese martial artist and trainer of tactical and military folks. It has a micarta handle and a very interesting removable assisted opening with a thumb disc. Very neat knife. Got it years and years ago. Still like it. Blade pretty much disappears inside the handle. Japanese inspired blade. Tanto-ish with that secondary point, but more of a traditional Japanese blade design. No guard really, just a finger choil here. You can get a good grip on it. You can get all your fingers around it, at least I can. You can choke up for utility work, so this can certainly perform some utility function. Switchable clip, and the spring comes out right through there. Took it out once a long time ago just to see, and I think it's that screw right there, or oh, lost it. Butterfingers today, wrong things to be playing with to have that. But also has the locks lock, so you can double lock this. I mean, there's lots of stuff going with this little blade that you don't see even in larger ones. So you can double lock the liner. The spring can be taken out so it becomes a manual flipper. Easy to actuate that knife, just like that. Very straightforward, easy to carry. As I say, deep carry, switchable, and they did a great job recessing that clip. And this design goes back at least 5 years, if not longer, and they were doing that back then. So very well designed for its purpose. This is the smallest in a group of such knives designed by James Williams for cricket. And now he has his own company turning out some very high-end stuff, if you haven't checked that out yet on Instagram. So let's line them up again. And just for size comparison, let's throw the Benchmade Griptilian in there. That's not going to work. Throw it up against a few of them so you can see that these are small knives. As I say, the longest one's probably the Cricut CEO. Hope you enjoyed this vid. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. See you soon.